Calico on Crypto here. Thanks for tuning in. This right here is an opinion piece about India and Nigeria and the like, which are emerging markets, third world countries. Label them what you want. I don't really know what the politically correct term is, but for the sake of this video, they're third world countries, all right? So it seems as though Nigeria and India are struggling to adopt a CBDC. Now, I didn't really go through the whole article or this whole article because I kind of already know why. Okay, now if you've been out of the country, then you can resonate with what I'm about to say. A lot of countries, especially emerging markets, all right, they have markets, okay, which means you go in, you pay with cash. People cook food, people sell clothes, people give you massages, etc., etc. There isn't a lot of storefronts. Now, don't get me wrong, there are storefronts in these countries of Nigeria and India, but people much rather deal with cash in the street. Here's an example. Dude right here is making food in the street. You see his cell phone is sitting on top of that dish or whatever. Either way though, people are going to pay him in cash. Period, point blank. He has his cash sitting somewhere, I don't know if it's in his apron or under the table, whatever it may be. But majority of businesses do this. They will sell stuff on the street. People pull up, they'll say, oh, 100 rupees, 500 rupees, and you pay them with cash, okay? Now, with that being said, these same merchants that are selling in the street, you have to understand, a lot of them don't have bank accounts because they live day by day. Nigeria and India alike. You see what I'm saying? If they make, for example, I don't know, 50 bucks for that day, they're not going to the bank to deposit it. They're taking it home. They may even stop by a store real quick or even go to another tent and say, hey, you know, can you give me some change? Because, you know, tomorrow I got to break change to people. So this 50 bucks, give me $10 in ones or whatever it may be. But obviously it's in their currency, right? Say a person in Nigeria makes 10,000 naira, they're going to turn around and say, okay, I'm going to get 2,000 and make that and break that into smaller bills into change. That way tomorrow I can sell in the market and give people change back. That's just the name of the game. It's not the technology now. A lot of people may think, well, those people probably don't know how to use CBDCs and things like that. No, that is not the case. People in these third world emerging market countries, they have cell phones, okay? They have YouTube, they have TikTok, they have all that stuff. They have Samsung Galaxies, they got iPhones, they got the whole works, they got laptops, they got it all. They know how to use the technology. But the thing is, a lot of them are unbanked. That is the point. They don't have bank accounts. They deal with cash and cash only. Now, in order to use CBDCs, if you didn't already know, you need to have a bank account. I mean, if you trade crypto, you know you have to take money from your bank to put it into Kucoin, Coinbase, whatever it may be. You see what I'm saying? That's the way crypto works. That's the way CBDCs work as well. You have to load it up, which means if these people, right, when they're done selling in the market, they have to now go to the bank, make a deposit. Once they make the deposit, the funds will be available on the app, okay? That's just the name of the game. But these people know at the same time too that banks charge fees, banks have long lines. I mean, in those countries, unlike America, it's like Nigeria, for example, when people go to the bank, okay, it's not in and out. It's not an in and out deal, especially if you're pulling out quite a bit of money, all right? When you go to the bank in Nigeria, you have to stand there for maybe 30 minutes to an hour to even get in the bank to take money out. And what they've been experiencing is cash shortages. So people will go to the bank and say, I need 100,000 naira. They'll say, oh, we don't have any more cash left. You see what I'm saying? It's like, dude, I just stood here for about 45 minutes and you're telling me I can't pull out my own money? Cash shortage right there. You see what I'm saying? So people know that. That's why they rather just deal with the cash. Banks are more for the people that are wealthy, like that have money, for example, or what we would consider middle class, all right? In those countries, they only have two class systems. It's either your upper class or your lower class. The upper class, which is a small population, we're talking doctors, we're talking dentists, government workers, they use bank accounts because they can't have, you know, $1,000 just sitting around in their home. You get what I'm saying? It's too dangerous. So they have banks and they're okay with the bank fees. They're okay with standing in line if they need to get cash. They probably even pay someone to do it for them. Either way though, That is the reason why CBDCs aren't working in this country. Now, in my opinion, CBDCs would be perfect in this country, especially emerging markets, because of inflation. If you go to India and you buy something, right, it's like their denomination start at like 100, 200, 500 when you buy something, right? So that's a lot of bills. If you go to, for example, Nigeria and you exchange $1,000, you're getting like a paper bag full of their money. Paper bag full of their money. If you've been to Mexico, then you should know what I'm talking about. If you go to Mexico and exchange, $500, you're getting a pretty thick stack. You know what I mean? And to walk around with that is kind of burnt in my opinion, because you're just pulling out wads of cash everywhere you go, you know what I'm saying? So it will be perfect for these economies, because you won't have to walk around with a bunch of cash. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to do that. You can just tap your phone and go. Now, in my opinion, in order for these countries to adopt the CBDC and not trip over it, number one, these merchants will have to have a way to collect the payment. In El Salvador, where Bitcoin is legal is it El Salvador? Fact check me. But in one of those South American countries, Bitcoin is legal tender. And these street merchants use their phones, or they have like a crypto ATM, or a crypto like pretty much like an ATM, a handheld device where people can tap their phones. Pretty much, in my opinion, the government would have to help out these merchants to say, hey, if you have a storefront or you have a little tent, hey, come on down and we'll give you one of these, price it fairly. That way they can start collecting CBDC payments or crypto payments, whatever it is. They're just gonna have to figure that out. You see what I'm saying? That's probably the only way that these people will be able to adopt the CBDCs and cryptocurrency easier, if they give access to everybody. As far as the bank part goes, the unbanked, that's probably going to be the biggest challenge, because you have to convince them to get a bank account. And a lot of them are like, why would I want to do that? Banks charge fees, etc., etc. There's a long line, etc., etc. That's where XLM comes in. Maybe XLM can bank the unbanked. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe XRP, I don't know. Point is though, they have to pretty much, for these two countries and a few other ones, they have to convince them that, hey, just use the CBDC, use the card reader, money will go into your bank and you can tap it. You see what I'm saying? They're gonna have to and also I would even believe that they're gonna have to give them free CBDC to even let them use it, like China did. They gave their population free digital yuan if they downloaded the apps. They download the app, will give you, $20 in digital yuan. You can use it for whatever you want. You see what I'm saying? They're gonna have to entice these populations at the end of the day. And the crazy thing is too, not crazy, but these populations do not trust their government either. So that's a whole nother ball game down the line. But either way, man, that's all I gotta say for this video. Don't wanna ramble on too long. Crypto's here to stay no matter what they say. Get those bags.